Back in 2008, BMW launched the X6, a coupe-ified sporty version of the X5. If you guys have seen my video a few months ago on the X4, make sure to check out that video. Hey guys, welcome to Chris Mack. In this video, I have the 2024 BMW X6 xdrive40i. This is going to be a big year for BMW as they just recently refreshed this vehicle, as well as the X5. So I'm going to show you around this vehicle, show you various features, take it on a drive, and give you guys my final verdict. But let's go ahead and get into this video, shall we? That sounds so satisfying, that BMW sound. Let's get into this video, shall we? Let's go. Looking on the outside of the 2024 BMW X6 xdrive40i, this is your key fob right here. You do have lock, unlock, as well as a trunk release and a panic button right there. If you do hit the lock button 3 times, that will start up the remote start function. But I'm looking a little bit more at this X6. This is dressed in a Skyscraper Gray exterior for $650 with a Tacora Red interior, which I will show you guys in a second. As equipped, this vehicle is $84,880. Looking up front, you can see you have a revised front fascia with new LED daytime running lights. You can see also right there on that side, your daytime running lights can also double as your turn signals as well. LED low and high beams. This does also come with the premium package with full LED lighting. It is adaptive and swiveling. This also does have the M Sport Professional package, so you do have the blacked out kidney grills. You see right there the active grill shutters are opening. It is illuminated. You also do have red brake calipers as well as a M Sport exhaust. This one also does come with the parking package. You can see the front camera out front for $800. I will show you a little bit more about the 360 camera inside of the cabin. Looking at the wheels, these are 742 M style wheels, which is a $1,900 or $1,600 option. I will put that in the description below, but it is a 22-inch multi-spoke M wheel that has a blacked out finish with 275 with tires in the front and 315s in the rear. That's wider than the M3. Ground clearance is 8.7 inches. You do have power folding mirrors with a side view camera, blind spot information, and a keyless entry for all 4 door handles. I don't know if you guys can see the window sticker, but I will insert a clip. $84,880. Coming around to the rear of the X6, you can see you do have a dual exhaust setup, as this being the xdrive40 version. You can also get a 60 version, which does have a revised 4.4 liter V8, as well as a full-blown X6M if you really have M needs. The taillights are very similar to the pre-facelift version, where you do have full LED lights, reverse lights right there, as well as your turn signals and brake lights right there. This does also have the M Sport pack, so you have a little more of a sporty M diffuser in the back. Opening the trunk of the X6, you find 27 cubic feet of space. The seats do fold down in a 40-20-40 fashion, and you do have a cargo cover right here. You just fold it out like that. First aid kit over here on this side, some tie downs down below, some floor mats, and you do have a temporary spare tire, which is definitely becoming a little bit more rare in this segment, or just the class of German vehicles in general. A little bit of illumination with a 12-volt charger right there. The tailgate is powered, so you can lock the doors as well as close the tailgate right there. One other styling element I did want to point out in this X6 is that you do have kind of this little sport wing right here, which is kind of blacked out, which looks so cool. Let me get a little side view for you guys right there to really see it. So you got 2 spoilers, one up top and one down below right there. Let me show you guys under the hood of the X6, but let me give you guys a rear 3/4 view. Boom. BMW fashion, you pull it twice. Looking under the hood of the X6 xdrive40i, this has the 3-liter inline 6, also known as the B58, with a 48-volt mild hybrid system. You get 375 horsepower with 383 pound-foot of torque. You'll get 23 in the city, 26 on the highway, and 24 combined. Vehicle weight is just over 5,000 pounds. Let's go the 8-speed automatic transmission to all 4 wheels. I'm loving these daytime running lights right here. That's probably one of my favorite styling elements of this facelifted X6. That looks a little bit more angular and aggressive. Show you guys that one more time. Instead of like the angel eyes that they had in the older ones, they have like kind of a little slit right there, making it look a little bit more sleek and aggressive. Let me show you guys the interior. If I didn't point out too, you also do have a panoramic glass roof. Stepping height in the back of the X6 is pretty good, and at 5'6", I have about 5 to 6 inches of legroom. As far as headroom goes, I have about an inch of headroom. That is due to the kind of sloping kind of coupe-ified version of like the back of the seat pillar right here. If you do go for the X5, which is one over there, you'll get a more standard rear seat. USB-C port right there. This one also does have the climate package, so you do have a 4-zone climate control. So you do have 2 up front and 2 in the back with 3-stage heated rear seats. Little storage right there. And a 12-volt charger down below. There we go. I was like, for the life of me, I couldn't even get that in. Storage right there. And you also have a panoramic glass roof, which I will show you guys once we hit the cockpit, and LED illumination up top. Just love this Tacora red interior with the quilted leather right there. A little bit more storage right there, and cup holders right there. Looking a little bit more at the door panels, you do have your automatic window functions right there. You can see a little bit of the ambient lighting, which I do have set to purple right there. I know it's a little sunny outside, so you probably won't be able to see it. All this is soft touch, and even down below. Just a quick look to the front cabin. But let's hit the driver's seat where all the action happens. Looking at the seats or the cockpit in the X6, you can see this does have the multi-contour seat function as well. So that is a separate charge. You'll add just a little bit more adjustability to the front seats. So you do have your power lumbar support right there with power bolstering moving in and out, as well as your waterfall cushions. Power back as well as bottom support. And you can also curve the back of the seat using this button right here. So you can see the back of it curving. It's just so cool. It has so many different adjustable positions and so on. One thing that is missing is the massage function, so I have to check the spec sheet on that. But let's go over at the door panels. You do have 2-person memory. You can also move the passenger seat right there when you hit that button, and use the controls right here to control that side. Your tailgate button right there, lock and unlock. And all windows are automatic with your power folding mirror functions right there. All the materials are soft touch, just like in the back seats, and you do have a little bit of this wood trim right there, which is so cool. Hood releases right there. You do have a little bit of storage. A power tilt and telescoping steering column. Your light functions right there. So basically, if you hit this button, it'll pull up your light settings inside of the infotainment screen. Your light settings right there for automatic, and you can just turn it off right there. Once settling inside of the X6, let me move the seat back so you guys can see the full Idrive 8, which is probably the biggest change for the 2024 model year versus the 23. So you see right here in front of you have a 12.3-inch cluster with a 14.9-inch display right there, which I will show you guys in a second. But looking in front of you, you can configure everything right here. So you have this 3-spoke steering wheel, which is heated, of course, inside of the screen, as well as a clear, crisp head-up display. So you have your speed as well as your speed limit in the area. And if you go inside of your display right here, you can configure your head-up display. So if I hit this button, go over to the side, I can configure my head-up display. So I have a standard view. You can put up a navigation view, a sport view, and you can have a reduced view right there. Speaking a little bit more of the screen right here, you can configure it so you can change your layout. Kind of have like the L-shaped design right there. More standard display, and then you can have like kind of the sport display right there. But we'll leave it in that display right there. You can also change your content settings right there. For your media functions, they also pop up in your head-up display. Your radio functions. Is that an i3? Yes, it is. So you got your radio functions, all your Apple CarPlay settings, and so on right here in your line of sight. Over here on this side of the steering wheel is how you control your driver assist technology. This does have cruise control, but if you do look at getting this X6, I highly recommend getting the driver assistant package plus to get all this driver assist technology as well as adaptive cruise, the lane keeping assist, and so on. But this basically has like the standard driver assist. Let me show you guys a little bit more about this infotainment of the Idrive 8, which is the main star piece of this vehicle. So you go to your home display right here. So we'll go ahead and start out with a navigation test. You see right there, navigation is very easy to use and quick as well as responsive. Do like the feedback of this touchscreen. You also do have your Apple CarPlay right there, which is wireless as well as Android Auto. So let me show you guys a quick audio test. Now this does, with the premium package, have a Harman Kardon sound system. So let's try out the audio and see how good it is.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in.
As you can see, the audio system is very clear and crisp. I do also like the gesture control, which does come with this premium package. I have to say, this is probably one of the best as far as like technology goes for the BMW. I know the new 7 Series, I don't believe it has gesture control, but I'll have to check that at a later date. But this has the perfect balance of technology as well as everything you need on a daily basis. This gesture control is so cool. But I'm going back into your infotainment. You have your phone connections, a personal assistant right there, so you can say, hey, BMW. Change ambient lighting to red.
Great. I will set the light color to coral.
As you can see right there, the functions basically works like the Hey Mercedes function, so it is pretty cool and easy to use. Going over here to your My BMW settings, you have your various different settings right there. Vehicle information, and so on. And you can also add different widgets right there, so you have a shortcut button for certain stuff. But I'm hitting this button right there. Let me show you guys that one more time. When you hit that, it'll pull up all your various different functions. So we already tried out the wireless CarPlay. You have your radio functions, your ID functions right there for the BMW. So like your personalization settings, you have it set under certain names, have like favorite radio as well as ambient lighting colors and so on. We did navigation. Looking under your seat comfort, so you can change everything inside of the infotainment. You do have 3-stage heated and cooled front seats. You can configure all of that right there inside of the screen. So let's go back. And then your heated steering wheel function is over here on this side of this screen. We'll just get out of here for a second, but you can basically change the airflow and so on. You also have a climate menu right there. You also have a live vehicle feed right there, so it show you in real time what the miles per gallon is and your various different content. System settings and your ambient lighting is right here under interior lighting. So you go into ambience, you can change your various different colors. And you probably won't be able to see it because it is daytime out, but I'm gonna see if I can find you guys a perfect spot to see it. So you guys can see a little strip right there. We'll go to like a purple. Let's try blue. And then gold. But I have to say it does look amazing at nighttime. Maybe I will do a separate video showing this vehicle at night. But I'm going back. You do have a back button right there. If you do make a mistake, you can go back. Built-in apps and so on. You also do have built-in Apple Maps right there, as well as a built-in Wi-Fi hotspot. Zoom, display settings are right there, so you can change everything between your head-up display. You can change the brightness, so we can go full bright. Instrument cluster settings right there, as well as control displays right here inside of this middle screen. Driving settings right there, so your drive assist settings are right here, so you can configure everything for your lane keeping assist. With steer assist, it does have blind spot assist, as well as automatic emergency braking, a fatigue alert, so it'll let you know if like you're getting tired. It'll tell you to take a break, as well as tell you like a speed limit in the area and give you a warning. Parking settings right there, you can change the rear cross traffic, change the sound settings with like the beeping. And you got driving functions right there. And you can also change the feedback in the steering wheel. Looking over here at your drivetrain stuff right here, you can also have the enhanced icon sound, so you can have the enhanced sound when you are driving, give a little bit more of a sportier vibe. And then you can configure your sport, individual, as well as your Eco Pro modes, which I will show you guys in a second once we hit the drive modes. Looking further down below, you do have a volume control right there with track forward and back, hazard button, as well as your window defrost. I do like that you do have shortcut preset buttons, so you're not too dependent on the infotainment display. Show you guys the center console right here. There we go. This lovely wood trim finish. Little spot right there for your phone, as well as a wireless phone charger right there. You have a USB-A port right there. This is also how you connect to the infotainment, as well as for charging. 2 couples, which are pretty good size, with another 12-volt charger right there. This is the main center console of the X6. So basically over here on this side is your driving information. So this is your traction function. So if I hit the traction, you can change between DSC on, sport traction, as well as full DSC off. And you do have a parking sensor button right there, which also does double as your camera function. So you do have a radius 360 view around the vehicle. You can put up an automatic front view camera. You can change your parking view, automatic parking. Then you have a 3D view right there, so it'll show you a full 360 view around. You can see right there the gesture is working, the gesture displays. It actually kind of shows you, gives you a little guideline right there of how to look around the vehicle. So again, woo. It's so cool. I love the gesture control. Looking further down, you have your push button start, as well as your drive modes right here. So if you push sport, you have 3 different options: sport mode, sport plus. Then you have sport individual, which you can configure right here between the dampening. So I'll probably leave the dampening in comfort, with the steering, let's say comfort, and then put the drivetrain in sport plus. A comfort mode right there, which is basically your default mode. Eco Pro, as well as the Eco Pro individual. You can change everything as far as your climate control settings, seat ventilation and heating, and so on. Hill descent function with the auto hold, and this is how you control the gear shift right here. I kind of like the gear shift. It is not too bad, but I'm getting just a little bit more used to it. I do like kind of the old school style, but putting it into reverse, your 360 camera right there, neutral drive, and then you push one more time for sport transmission mode right there, and push or park. You have an automatic parking brake right there. And then if you want to use the infotainment and you want to get fingerprints on the screen, you have a couple of toggles right here. So you have a home button, map button, navigation, your media functions right there, as well as your telephone, and a rotary dial right here, which you can pinch, zoom, and select, as well as a back button if you make a mistake, and options. Looking at the center console right here, you have another USB-C port for charging, a little bit of illumination, and some more storage right here, which is a pretty good size. We have a auto-dimming rearview mirror with a garage door opener up top, and sun visors with LED illumination. Let me show you guys the panoramic glass roof. Does let in pretty good light once you do have it open. And I definitely got to applaud BMW for having this coupe-ified SUV and having a full-size panoramic glass roof. Really does let a lot of light inside of the cabin. You can also tilt it open if you push this button right there, and slide it as well. And LED illumination right there. But let's go and take the X6 xdrive40i for a drive and see how she does. I want to show you guys the automatic parking function. So right now we are looking for a space. So right now I did find a spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and select it. Yep, start parking reversed. Release the brake. Oh, this thing's doing pretty good. Definitely is a little nervous at first because you don't know if it's gonna hit the vehicle or not, but it's doing a pretty good job. Putting it in drive reverse, taking care of the brake as well as the gas. And it parked pretty good right there in between the lines. The perfect distance on each side. As you can see right there, the vehicle did stop, and auto parking works phenomenal. $800, totally worth it. We are behind the wheel of the 2024 BMW X6. Make sure we're in comfort mode, which does have a nice balance between sport as well as eco mode. Speaking of visibility out the front, rear, and sides, I can see very good over the hood as well as out the side mirrors. And out the back, it's not too bad as well. Keep in mind, this does have a lower C-pillar in the rear than if you do go for a conventional X5. You have this clear, crisp head-up display like I talked about in the Walkaround. So you can put up the sport view, directional view for navigation, and then have the standard view. Honestly, I like the sport view the best. Go. First, starting off in the X6, you can see the mid-range torque with this B58 and mild hybrid system is very smooth, quiet, and refined. Also, I did want to talk about the auto start stop. When we stand at that light, it is running off the 48-volt mild hybrid system, so it is very smooth and really unnoticeable when you are sitting in traffic. This vehicle does have the 22-inch M wheels. But if you do want just a little bit more, I would say comfort, I highly recommend getting the 21s or the 20s. So you have a little bit more sidewall, and it'll actually improve the handling. Or like the ride feel, though. But aesthetically, these 22s look amazing. Just driving around in comfort mode, the vehicle is very smooth, quiet, and refined, and isolates you from the road as a luxury car should. Now, this does compete with things like the Mercedes GLE, Porsche Cayenne, all the Coupe-ified SUV things. I'm going to change the layout right here to the sport displays as we go ahead and switch over into sport mode. We're going to go Sport Plus, and then we'll do Sport Transmission. You can also change the traction right there into sport traction. And you get that symphony of a powertrain. You definitely can feel the weight when you are going around corners. This is a big vehicle. What I like too with this kind of mild hybrid system, you get a little bit of that blow-off valve. That thing sounds great. Let me show you guys inside the screen real quick. You have your vehicle settings. So I go into vehicle settings. I can change the icon sounds. So you can have the pumped-in audio be less. So let's try with it off. This B58 sounds so good. But we'll go ahead and leave it on so you can get the full experience. Put a big center speedo right there, or you can have your heading, but we'll leave up the navigation stuff right there. You can definitely feel the weight around corners. This is not a small vehicle. 5,000 pounds. these big old wide tires, you can feel everything. But let's try a quick acceleration. So Sport Traction, Sport Plus. Let's let the Subaru go. Yeah, it's a lot of traffic out today, so let's move up. All right, so you want to be in Sport Plus, Sport Traction, Sport Transmission as well, and that will activate the launch control. So let's try it out. Woo. And 0 to 60 is 5.2 seconds claimed by BMW, and honestly that feels about the 4.9, 4.8 second range for the base motor, which is just amazing. Let's go icon sound off. Non-launch control, just go. And the M Sport exhaust has so much character and sound out the back. It sounds so good. Ooh. Just like with the G80 M3 that I did review a few months ago, you get like that waka, waka, waka. On the upshift, it sounds so cool, like a whip being snapped. Whoosh, whoosh. Yeah, this thing sounds amazing. We'll go ahead and put icon sounds back on. But let me show you guys what the X6 sounds like from the outside right now. Couple of interior elements I did want to point out in these X6. So you do have these kind of cool air vent things right here. It's literally like toggles out of a jet. It looks so cool. You change the airflow and so on. I love how X6 is scripted right there on the front of the dashboard. Materials are all soft touch, even all the way down to the bottom. It was funny because I was in a Mercedes GLE. It was a 53. That was like 97,000, and it was like kind of plasticky down here, which I was shocked. Like for how expensive that was. But I am really impressed with what BMW is doing with their vehicles and their products right now. All right, let's hit the highway. Let's see how she performs. Let's go sport. Now, like I talked about my walk around, I did configure everything in Sport individual, so the powertrain's in Sport Plus, but like the steering and everything else is in Comfort. that was Autobahn speeds like in no time. This thing really just is crazy. Let's go back into comfort and talk a little bit more about the cabin noise at highway speed. So right now we're going about just under or 80 miles an hour. The cabin is very smooth, quiet, and refined. You really don't hear much wind noise outside of the windows. It does go over bumps pretty smooth. As far as drive assist goes, right there you do have a standard cruise controls right there. Which honestly, for $80-something thousand is probably one of the pet peeves I do have with this, is that I do wish that it did have the full adaptive cruise control, especially at this price point as standard. But other than drive assist and massage stuff, the vehicle basically ticks off all the boxes that you want in a luxury vehicle like this. Knowing the Germans, they do charge extra for all this stuff, but road presence on the highway is phenomenal. I do love this infotainment right here. There's a lot of feedback and information. You can also put up your view right there for the xDrive, so to see whether it's sending power to the front or the rear wheels, as well as breakover and departure angles. And that power will get you up and out of the hole in no time. I like the way this 8-speed auto shifts. For being a torque converted automatic and not even a DCT, just really thinks before you do. The way it just downshifts, got that kick down at the bottom of the gas pedal. You hit it, it goes. You hear a little bit of that blow-off valve when you do let off. It sounds so cool. It does have 383 pound-foot of torque, and you can really feel it in the mid-range. Going out of boost under 3,000 RPM, you're literally just keeping up and surpassing traffic. All right, we got a tunnel. I promise this is the last time we use Sport Plus. You guys see that blow-off valve when I let off? Oh my God, it sounds good. And of course, when you talk about aftermarket support, but let's go ahead and get into the conclusion. When you talk about aftermarket support with the BMWs, you know, especially with this inline six straight six, has so much tuning potential. It was funny, I was laughing on Instagram the other day. Someone had a X6 or X7 or something, and they was racing a C8 Corvette, and they literally smoked that Corvette. It was just funny. You know, it was actually an X7. I'm like, seriously, I laughed my ass off. It was hilarious. This big ass 3-row X7 smoked, or literally was like right neck to neck with a C8 Corvette. So you know the inline six has so much tuning potential. Downpipe, intake, tune. You'll basically be nearly doubling the horsepower numbers. Oh, there's a Hellcat. But let's talk a little bit more about what I think about this X6. Now, overall, I do like the outside styling. This does have the M Sport Professional package, so you do have the red braked out calipers, red brake calipers. You have the illuminated kidney grills, the Shadowline package, so basically everything, all the trim on the outside is blacked out or murdered out, which looks so much better. And then let's talk a little bit more about the interior. The Idrive 8, which is the biggest star piece of this X5 and X6 facelift. As you know, the X5 does share the same platform as the X6, just a Coupe 5 version. But the Idrive 8 makes a huge difference versus the previous generation Idrive 7. Gone is wired CarPlay and Android Auto, which was honestly a hassle to kind of get connected. If you guys see my X4 video, it took me a while to get it connected. It literally took 30 minutes to connect to the infotainment, and that was via cord. But overall, this Idrive 8 with the wireless CarPlay and Android Auto is worlds of difference. The Harman Kardon sound system, the 3D sound system, is very clear, crisp, has a lot of bass and sound quality. You can, of course, configure that inside the screen if you are an audiophile. Now, I was reading an article with BMW that if you want the Bowers & Wilkins, you will have to go for a higher trim to actually get that. The sloping roof out the rear definitely is a little bit harder to look out, especially when you're looking for like people like in your blind spot with that C-pillar in the back. But other than that, that's really all I have to say about this X6, is that the only bummer is probably the obstructed view in the back, the massage seats, as well as the adaptive cruise control. Other than that, honestly, I like this X6. Like I said, the technology is great. The head display is clear and crisp. Navigation works very good. Oh, you see right there when I put my turn signal on, it shows you right there on the screen, which is so cool. I'll give it one final push for you guys. Hey, why the hell not, right? Let's go. Thing has boatloads of power. But as far as dynamics go, you can really feel it in the chassis. It is very sporty as far as like driving experience does go. But you are defied by like laws of logic and stuff. So this vehicle is 5,000 pounds, and like I stated in the back road, you can really feel the 5,002 pounds of fat this vehicle does have. But I do like the steering feel, very hefty, very nice. But that is basically going to wrap up my video. Please sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. This is Chris signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.